While Comet 3I Atlas hurtles through the darkness at over 50 kilometers per second, receding from Earth after its mysterious flyby. Let us, for a moment, set aside our telescopes. What if these celestial wanderers are not mere icy rocks, but messengers from those who, billions of years ago, conceived and built the entire universe? What if their trajectories conceal not randomness, but part of a grand design drawn long before stars were born? Ancient legends speak of 7 great mysteries of the cosmos, of how a new world is born after the great dissolution, of the Logos, the first word in silence, of hosts of builders erecting galaxies according to the blueprint of the divine mind. Today we will lift the veil, not through telescope lenses, but through visions of those who heard the whisper of the cosmos. Prepare yourselves. We embark on a journey where science meets ancient wisdom, and where a comet may prove to be only a tiny part of a vast plan.
In esoteric tradition, there exists a book titled 7 Great Mysteries of the Cosmos. Presented in the form of legends, it tells of the birth of the cosmos after the Great Pralaya, the emergence of the solar system, the origin and development of civilizations on planets, and the hidden laws of the evolution of life and consciousness. Especially striking is the chapter on the builders of the universe. Imagine boundless silence after Mahapralaya, the great cosmic dissolution, when everything returns to the unmanifested state. In this silence, suddenly the first word resounds. This is the Logos, the vibration of divine energy, which is also light, for light is the movement of matter. This is divine thought, giving rise to the entire process of creation. Then other great beings appear, those who completed their human evolution in the previous Manvantara on one planet or another, in one solar system or another, the so-called planetary spirits, creators of worlds. With the beginning of a new Manvantara, these powerful spirits become the closest collaborators of the cosmic Logos. Thus, the manifested Logos begins to lead the entire hierarchy of conscious divine forces, spiritual, intelligent essences. In this hierarchy, each being has a specific task in the construction and management of the cosmos throughout its existence. The hierarchical principle is the cosmic law, the leading principle in the cosmos. Therefore, every universe, world, or planet has its own hierarchy. There is always a supreme spiritual being who takes responsibility for the planet for the entire Manvantara and stands at the head of his high brothers. Before beginning work on his universe, the Logos creates on the plane of divine thought a blueprint for the entire system of the universe, what it should be from beginning to end. He creates on this plane all the prototypes of forces and forms, emotions, thoughts, and intuitions, and determines through what stages each should be realized in the evolutionary scheme of his system. Thus, before the emergence of the universe, its wholeness already lies in the universal mind of the Logos, exists in him as an idea, everything that will become objective life during the building process. All these prototypes, being fruits of previous worlds, serve as seed for the future world. Among the countless hierarchy of creative forces subordinate to the Logos, there are vast hosts of builders who create all forms according to the ideas residing in the treasury of the Logos, the world mind. So these builders create, or rather recreate, all the systems after the night. The Logos is the creator of the universe in the sense used when speaking of an architect as the creator of a building, although this architect never touched a single stone of it, but, having drawn the plan, left all the manual work to the masons. Ancient cosmogonic legends of the East tell that the universe after Pralaya is built very slowly, gradually, over many hundreds of millions of years, and that hosts of intelligent beings work on the creation of the cosmos, from great divine architects to ordinary masons. Who can calculate how many eons it took to shape our tiny Earth alone? Will this creation stretch for hundreds of millions of years just for our planet? This is how the legend tells of the third great mystery of the cosmos, the great hierarchy of the creative forces of the universe. Visualize it, boundless darkness. Suddenly, a flash of light. The first sound rings out. Waves spread, forming spirals of fire. From them, galaxies are born, stars, planets. Great beings like architects direct streams of energy. Hosts of builders like masters erect forms from matter, all according to the plan drawn in the mind of the Logos. And now imagine Comet 3 I Atlas against this background. It flies along a trajectory suspiciously precise for a random rock, passes Earth, collects data, activates a second tail like an antenna, and heads toward Jupiter, a gigantic magnetic field amplifier. What if it is one of those masons carrying seeds for the next stage? This forces us to rethink the foundations. We are not random inhabitants of the cosmos. We are part of a construction begun long before our appearance. Now, let us delve deeper into the next mystery, the stages of life in space. The legend states, when the evolution of materials reaches a sufficient degree, a second great cosmic wave emanates from the Logos. It gives impetus to the evolution of life. What is life? It is the force that, for a time, connects chemical elements, forming living organisms from them. These forms are built from all possible combinations of previously created cosmic matter. Countless hosts of entities called builders, including the so-called spirits of nature, participate in the construction. Life, as it develops, passes through various stages. It successively forms the 7 kingdoms of nature. First, the 3 elemental, then the mineral, plant, animal, and finally, the human. These 7 stages of life's evolution, from the first elemental kingdom to the human kingdom, are called the life wave. Thus, life exists not only in the human, animal, and vegetable kingdoms, but also in the apparently dead matter of minerals, and in the organisms of invisible matter below minerals and above man. But humanity is not the last stage in life's evolution. Its development continues further. In the fiery and subtle worlds, the first 3 stages of the Logos' life are called elemental essence. During a long period called the chain, it first manifests in the higher subplanes of the fiery world and is called the first elemental essence. When the end of the chain comes, it returns to its source, the Logos, from which it emanates again at the beginning of a new chain to animate the lower subplanes of the fiery world. At this stage, it is called the second elemental essence. And then, it begins the work of the second chain, retaining within itself all the experiences of the first chain in the form of inclinations and abilities. In the next chain, it becomes the third elemental essence and animates the matter of the subtle world. Elemental essence is cast into various forms that last for a while, after which they disintegrate into their component parts. Thus, under the influence of the Logos, physical matter arises. Under his guidance, the mineral kingdom appears, ready to build a dense earth. The outpoured life of the Logos, having reached the physical world, begins to draw together ethereal particles and unite them into ethereal forms within which life currents move. Constructions of denser material are introduced into these forms, serving as the basis for the first minerals. Following the laws of rhythm and beauty, matter begins to crystallize with mathematical precision. The work of life occurs through the medium of physical forms, according to the great plan. In this seemingly motionless matter, the Logos works all the time. The work of life continues in minerals, although it is constrained, closed, and compressed. The first kingdoms of life, the three stages of elemental essence manifesting in the fiery and subtle worlds, are the involution of life. It descends from subtler spheres of spirit matter into denser ones. The mineral kingdom is the lowest turning stage. Here, life manifests minimally. It is almost invisible. From this stage, the evolution of life in the exact sense begins. After its deepest immersion in the matter of the mineral kingdom, the life of the Logos rises into the next great kingdom of life, the vegetable. At the beginning of this stage, earth substances develop a new ability to become shells of life, visible to our eyes. Chemical elements combine into groups, and among them, a new stage of life appears, building protoplasm from them. Under the Logos' guidance, protoplasm transforms and over time becomes the plant kingdom. After long experiences, growth, and slow development throughout the chain, the vegetable kingdom appears in the next chain as the animal kingdom. In due course, higher animals capable of individualization emerge from the animal kingdom. Life begins to build an individuality capable of thinking and loving. The human soul, created in the image of God, then begins its evolution, the purpose of which is to reveal divinity in itself, in its fellows, and in all surrounding natural life. This is how the legend tells of the sixth great mystery of the cosmos, the stages of unceasing life. And now, let us return to our comet.
3I Atlas
Is an interstellar visitor that came from another system. According to the legend, life passes through all kingdoms, from elemental to human, transitioning from planet to planet at the end of each chain. What if such comets are carriers of the life wave? Not just dust and ice, but containers for elemental essence, seeds of future forms. Its trajectory from Earth to Jupiter may be part of this transition, where the giant's magnetic field awakens dormant life in its nucleus. This forces us to rethink the foundations of evolution. We are not the pinnacle, but merely one stage in the endless life wave.